taking responsibility, and why is it so important to take responsibility? Now, what is the meaning of responsibility, and what's the definition of responsibility?
Yeah.
How would you describe responsibility?
Asking me?
Yes.
Okay. For me, taking responsibility is no matter what happens in your life, whether it's good or bad, especially the bad things, is you must take responsibility in terms of one thing is finding solutions, right? And then if you do something wrong, for example, like if you're doing a business, and then you did something wrong to your clients, like you did not fulfill certain things that you promised, or you service that you say you're gonna do and you do not deliver, you must take responsibility in terms of how can I correct it, how can I make sure that the client, because I did the client wrong, how can I make sure that the client is being rewarded or compensated for the loss that they face. For example, like if you said I promised to meet my client at a certain time, for example, let's say 10 o'clock, for example, right? And then you were like half an hour late, right? So you should you must do something to compensate the client, or you're going to lose the client. And then like for me, I believe in whatever ghost comes around, there's a word for it, like a karma, right? Like whatever you do, you will come back to you, you know. So that's why for me, I believe that if you do good things, it will come back in good things. But if you don't take responsibility of the things you do, especially the mistakes that you make, it's going to come back to you as well. And even sometimes it becomes even worse. That's why we must really understand the essence of responsibility.
Yeah, for me, the essence of responsibility is don't blame, don't justify, don't criticize, and don't complain. Focus on creating solutions, and solutions that actually give love and respect. Yeah. So this thing on taking responsibility, a lot of times people, it's so subtle. We've been trained a lot of since small. Sometimes we've been babied, right? And some people never grow out of being babied. They want everything done for them, tie their shoelaces, they want everything done for them without any energy exchange. Yeah, because that was like what babies are. But because babies are they're not,
do anything.
yeah, they cannot do anything. They are vulnerable, right? But when you are an adult, sane mind, best you are equipped, you have your hands, your legs, your mouth, your brains, your intelligence. Take responsibility of everything that happens in your life, and there's no excuse for you not to find solutions and be resourceful about solutions. One of the ways, one of the things that people don't realize when they say, I want money, I want to grow my business, I want to create bigger impact, it's here, right? Does it go deep down here in the heart and soul that you really desire it, like it encompasses in your body? Because what I hear is like, I want to do all these things, and then sometimes it does require money, in order to invest, in order for you to get knowledge, in order you to find solutions. Maybe you have to travel, and the first thing they say is, I can't do it, I don't have the money, I don't have that amount of money. So they kind of shut off every possible ways of them achieving a certain goal. That is the first step of you realizing something. What goes on in your mind when the first thing you say things like, it's too expensive, I don't have the money. But you just said your desire is to create, is to do all these things, such big dreams you have, but you're not willing to exchange energy for something like that. That is not taking responsibility. Taking responsibility means no matter what, you find ways, you find it. Maybe you don't have it in the period that you want, but you say, okay, for myself, I'm going to find that amount of money in order for me to achieve that, or I am going to create that amount of money so that I can do this, I can find this, I can learn this, I can grow my business to this level. A number is something that is required. So sometimes when I ask questions during my calls with people, and they say they desire things, and I know that they are not the right client for me, when the first thing they say is they don't know how much they want to make, they don't know what they want to do in their business, they don't know where they want to be, or what direction they want. I won't coach them for business. I would say I will coach you for clarity only, and that 90 days I'll be working is just on clarity, because I can't coach you on growing a business when you are not clear. So it has to be just on clarity alone, exactly what you want. deep down inside, even if it means zero funds, but you are willing to find ways and willing to create money just for that, without all this, oh, I'm too shy, I'm too scared, and I'm all these things. That means the desire is not big enough. And that's what taking responsibility is. And I find people, movers and shakers, people who actually make changes, people that I want to personally hire or personally work with, they have that desire, they have that taking responsibility. Zilla and I, we've had like a lot of experiences in the past where we keep our doors like open without boundaries. And that's why I coach my clients on to create boundaries, because it is going to be time wasting when you don't create boundaries for yourself, right? So when I started creating boundaries and say I'm not available for something like that, I'm not available for clients who are irresponsible, either with their payment, or they are irresponsible either with their time, or they are irresponsible with their promises, especially to themselves and to me as well. I'm not available for those kind of people in my circle. So that is how I set boundaries and how I elevate, and that's how I attract only quality clients, only quality beneficiaries, only quality suppliers, and only quality business partners, right? So taking responsibility is actually a very holistic thing. It is not just about this taking responsibility with business, but it also takes responsibility with your spirituality, your relationship with your creator, with your relationship with your family. That is the amount, or that is the responsibility I'm talking about. So that is how powerful responsibility is. And it affects all areas of life. So if you find there's certain misalignment in your life, that that's something that you are not meeting yet,
Something that's missing,
that's
something,
missing, whether it's in your relationships, whether it's in the money or the people that you are attracting, look at yourself and see, where in my time am I not being responsible to myself or to my own promise that I said that I would like and I would want to do. And that is where the missing link is, for you not to be able to achieve a certain kind of desires, and also attracting certain negative things in your circle.
Yeah. Many years back, right, when I started my self-development journey, right, I went to a seminar called Money and You, and I learned about the essence and the meaning of responsibility, which is three things. Which is, first is not blaming, second is not criticizing, and the last one is not justifying. So everything in our life, right, we do not blame, we do not lay blame on others. Something goes wrong, and you say, oh, it's not of my fault, it's somebody else's fault. So you're actually pushing that responsibility, right? The second is you criticize. That's even worse, right? You not only you don't take responsibility and you blame and you criticize others. Oh, it's government's fault, it's somebody's fault, it's my client's fault, it's my family's fault, but you don't take responsibility. Maybe I have a role to play in it. Maybe I'm also the cause of the whatever bad things that's happening, right? And the last part is justify. Like I see a lot of people say, oh, Sia Mushida, you can you got you are, you are very, you can speak very well, you got qualifications, you got a lot of wealth and all this, right? But they don't know, right? Actually, when we started, we didn't have anything, but what we did was we take responsibility. We did not say, oh, I don't have a certification in training, that means I can't do training, I can't do coaching. So we took responsibility and we did not do these three things, right? Blame, criticize, and justify. And that's how we actually managed to take turn our life around. Even bad things happen, even though it seemingly is other people's fault that did it, but we take responsibility. Okay, maybe that person is at fault, but maybe what I can do is, can I do something that it will never ever happen again to me or to others? Like if you see somebody doing bad things to you or others, you can also be like a person who is make sure that this thing will never happen to somebody else. If something bad happens, we can be the conductor or the people that changes things. So the from the bad things, from things that not supposed to happen, it doesn't happen again. So that can be. That's why when you really understand the word responsibility, it's actually a more deeper meaning than just menial tasks and all that. It's actually it goes very deep. Like you wanna, like for me, right? Taking responsibility is also making sure, right? We know, like COVID happened, right? SARS, COVID, and all that. We must make sure that, okay, what can we do to prepare in the future if other crisis happens? That's also another part of taking responsibility. Like, and then we take, okay, in the and we, like for me, during COVID, I attended a lot of seminars where the people say, okay, COVID is just the first stop. There's going to be other crises in the future, like food crisis, financial crisis. So taking responsibility also means, what are we going to do to prepare for this?